Tonight, in the second semifinal of the WCHA Final Five, the North Dakota Fighting Sioux battle the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. For North Dakota, this is at least a warm-up for the national tournament that begins next week. The high-flying Sioux have dominated the WCHA this year and earned the right to be called the nation's #1 team. For the Golden Gophers, well, they're just 120 minutes away from the big dance. It's David versus Goliath, next on MSC.
Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Kathy St. Martin with our national anthem. And there might be, I think you're right, Tom, there are more Fighting Sioux fans here than there are Minnesota fans. They certainly have been vocal so far this weekend.
Well, very supportive, Frank, as they drove down here to watch this game. They know the rivalry that exists. And when they were introducing the players, the Fighting Sioux got more cheers than the Gophers did. We'll see if somebody's trickling in after the drop of the puck. But there's an awful lot of green and white in this building tonight.
Well, the Wunderkidden. Carl Gehring will be in nets, and as you look at his 28 games this year, you also have to realize he has allowed 3 or more goals only 5 times.
Well, pretty interesting with this youngster. He's won the high school state championship with Apple Valley. At Fargo Moorhead, he was the USHA Junior Player of the Year. You look at him last year, he was a WCHA Rookie of the Year. This year he made the All WCHA second team. He just continues to shine, and he's really one of the guys that they count on.
And the Golden Gophers will need to count on Adam Hauser, who has been playing a much more confident brand of goaltending.
Yeah, there's no question that he has really started to emerge here these last few weekends. And I think the 2 shutouts he had last weekend against Alaska Anchorage certainly helped that confidence. But he knows right now that he has never beaten this team he's playing against. He knows full well that he has got to step it up here a little bit. They will be coming at him in droves, and he has to be superb.
And a look at the Golden Gopher huddle. And the all-time series, as we told you, dates back to the 1930s. Golden Gophers, by the way, have won 5 of the last 6 playoff games. But the Fighting Sioux have an overall edge in playoffs by winning 7. Gophers have won, Fighting Sioux have won 8. The Gophers have won 7. And there he is, the 2-time coach of the year in the WCHA, Dean Blais.
Tremendous job.
Yeah, he really has. Last weekend against Mankato State, the Mavericks, I beg your pardon, Minnesota State, the Mavericks gave the Fighting Sioux a bit of a scare. Beat him on Friday, held him to a 1-goal victory on Saturday before the roof caved in on Sunday. But he said there was at no time during the weekend was there a panic situation for the Fighting Sioux, or wondering maybe not enough guys had showed up ready to play. He said they were ready to play. Here's Adam Calder from center ice firing for the first shot. That's blocked by Bill Cohn, and now back out at center. And it's loose at the Minnesota line to Eric Westrom. The forward converted to defense, and they flip it into the corner. Eric Schneekloth after the puck, and he takes a pretty solid check there from Mike Anderson, who's had a very physical playoff run in the game yesterday against St. Cloud and the 2 games against Alaska Anchorage. Fighting Sioux have to dump it in. Calder dumped it in, and now they're going to touch up and make the play good at the line. Out to center ice. Here comes the speedster Miskovich firing from the blue line. His shot was checked, and he goes to the corner now with Trevor Hammer. It'll be grabbed now by Dave Hookstein, and he'll track it down. Hookstein has been among a number of hot Fighting Sioux as Jason Blake brings it in. Saw that puck stick on him. Oh, he scores! Jason Blake from the shallow angle. A huge goal for North Dakota. 1 minute and 6 seconds in.
Well, last night was Minnesota scoring first against St. Cloud at 9 seconds. All of a sudden, Jason Blake makes it work. And watch how well he controls this puck. Picks up the puck in the center ice zone, and you can tell that's a big plus for this team right now. Adam Hauser opens up the short side. Watch how he loses here, maintains control. Now look at the inside there, right close to the pipe. He makes no mistake. You can see why this guy is one of the Hobie Baker finalists. He knows how to score. He knows how to move that puck. And just a little bit of room is all he needs. It's in the net. They score first. That goal 1 minute and 6 seconds into the first period.
Very shallow angle for the regular season scoring champion who gets his 28th goal of the year. Jason Blake gives the Fighting Sioux a 1-0 lead. And that is the 8-ball that Minnesota put St. Cloud State behind last night. They had a very difficult time getting out of that hole. And Minnesota, not known to score a lot of goals this year, may have a difficult time against the Fighting Sioux, who just now have iced the puck, so they'll have a face-off back in their own end. Wow. Yeah, they don't allow much leeway here, do they? When the Fighting Sioux have scored first, they've only lost 2 games. And only come back, one team has only been able to come back for a tie. That team, by the way, was Minnesota.
They get that lead. They do not look back. David Hook's team will pick up the only assist on that goal by Jason Blake. We have a problem down here at the opposite end right now.
I thought we did too. Joe Romano, one of the assistant refs, gesturing down there, but apparently not. Here's Tim O'Connell back behind the net for the Fighting Sioux, number 6, the sophomore defenseman. They work at the center, and here comes Panzer up on the far side. Jeff Panzer takes quite a bolt up on the far boards. Panzer has been one of the most torrid skaters anywhere in the last 7 games. He has picked up 14 points. And this is a delayed offside at the Minnesota blue line.
Well, you can see the forecheck that the Fighting Sioux are using right now. They want somebody on that puck carrier immediately. They are not sitting back. And the thing about them right now also, Frank, they're playing physical right from the drop of the puck. Armbruster was the first player out there. He went right to Cone and knocked him down. They want to establish themselves early in this hockey game. And they've done that with the physical part of it and also by scoring first.
4-point Sunday for Panzer was the 3rd 4-point game of the season for him. Had a 5-point night against the Golden Gophers in a 5-4 victory. At the line, O'Connell shooting. That one gets past Hauser and into the corner. It picked up by Matt Linebeck. The 4th lines are out for both schools right now, and icing here as it crosses the line. Matt Linebeck's line against the line centered by Jason Ulmer, but we'll have a face-off back in Minnesota territory.
As you look at Matt Linebeck right now, and Doug Woog a little concerned with that quick goal put in by the Fighting Sioux. He wants to know what's going on with definitely icing. It came all the way down the ice. I'm not quite sure, but I think he knows what's going on. Just questioning what the call is. You look at his 14th season with the Gophers.
The Linebeck line, and here's Westrom after the puck, but he took a tumble over someone's skates. Now Ulmer is jammed up by Linebeck, and Westrom gets the puck. Nurses the pass ahead to Doug Meyer. Now to Stuart Senden in his 2nd game back from an ankle injury. Now Wes Dory is tied up on the rail. Back at the line, it'll be played ahead by Meyer to Linebeck, and then his backhand deflects into the corner. Meyer is checked on the far side, and it'll be played by Chad Mazurek out at center, and poked ahead by Dory on the breakaway. Hauser the save, and the goal comes loose. There is no red light. I don't know where the puck is, but apparently it's not in the net.
Well, Dory doing a great job of coming into the center ice area and just taking a stick and just deflecting that puck enough to get by the defenseman. You watch here as he comes in. He's taking a look, but look at that puck. Rolling on him right now, and then he gets it down. Goes to the backhand, goes down. Hauser and everybody else goes down with him at the same time. The net does come off, and very close to being a 2-0 game as the Fighting Sioux continue to shine. There's no question. One of the top teams, they should be the top team in college hockey.
Both Don Lucia of Colorado College and George Gwozdecki of Denver commented about the poor ice condition here in the first semifinal game. Gwozdecki even said the main focus of the game was the player's stick and his puck fighting to control the puck up and down the ice. And that became a factor in what became a very grueling game. It was a very hard-fought game and an exciting finish for Denver in their overtime victory, and that goal you saw in our Sports Connection show in overtime to win it. Here's Redsburg for Minnesota with the first opportunity, and the rebound by Mike Anderson. A ripple the outside of the net after the Gehring save. 3rd shot in succession, also stopped by Gehring. Here's Smith after the puck in the corner. Tries to pry it loose from Schneekloth. Now Pollard gets rid of it, and then he was blasted from behind by Anderson. Anderson will get a penalty as soon as Dylan Mills gets to the puck. And it will be at least a checking from behind or a board on Mike Anderson. And the Fighting Sioux will go to the power play with the lead.
All-American recreation, all we sell is fun.
Well, Mike Anderson is going to be called the first penalty of this hockey game. His team trails by a score of 1-0. He's called for cross-checking. That coming at 3:13 of the period. As you look at him in the penalty box area.
Back out at center ice, here's Dylan Mills with the puck. First special team play of the night. The numbers brought to you by General Security Services. A 24% power play for the Fighting Sioux and an 81% kill for the Golden Gophers. That 24% is outstanding. Here's a shot that was deflected as Jay Panzer nearly bagged the power play goal early. Jay Panzer back behind the net, looking for Jason Blake. It's taken away by Smith. He battles the check of Blake, delivers it to Miskovich shorthanded, who tries to bring it in. Long shot, and it'll be turned away by Gehring. And as Miskovich goes after the puck, it's cleared away by Jeff Panzer. Now to center ice. Here comes Blake trying to get around Smith. Took the check. It's 2-on-1. Panzer shooting. Hauser gets a piece of it, and the rebound batted away by Angel. Here's Miskovich shorthanded to shoot it down the rink. Gehring out behind the net as Wyatt Smith comes in on the forecheck. And now Blake from behind his own net. He'll start to move it ahead. Jason Blake to center. This is Jeff Panzer, and he'll dump it in. Blake with 8 power play goals, and Lee Goren, who is not dressed tonight, more on him later. They each have 8 to lead the club in this category. Here's a Blake at center ice with a two-hander, and the puck now dumped in the corner. Trevor Hammer back behind the net. Out 36 seconds on the power play. Abe Hookstein at center ice. It's wrapped away from him by Berg, and the puck leaves the rink. We'll have a face-off out at center.
Frank, we talk about how explosive a team can be. When you look at North Dakota last weekend in the first game, they lost that first one against Minnesota State Mankato. And I think they were a little upset. They came back and won the second one in a hard-fought game. But in that third game, they scored 10 goals, 66 shots on net in that contest. So you can bet a lot of that play was played in the offensive zone for them.
They had over 40 in each of the first 2 games, and then over 60. I've run out of fingers to count them, but I know Maverick goaltender Eric Pateman is probably still having sleepless nights, but he did play extremely well. Here's Nate Miller from center ice shooting it in. 15 seconds left on the North Dakota power play, the first power play of the game. And from center, Mike Lyons trying to push it ahead. Hammer gets it. The penalty to Anderson will expire in 4 seconds as it goes into the corner. Calder drops it back. Jesse Bull with a screen shot. That deflects to the far side. Anderson is back on. There's a shot from the point by Commodore, and that's deflected. Now it'll be Aaron Miskovich over to get it. So the penalty killers for Minnesota hold the Fighting Sioux to 1 shot on goal with the manpower advantage. North Dakota with an even strength goal has a 1-0 lead in this game as we've played 5 minutes and 28 seconds.
Well, players coming in very close to each other right now, and a lot of these guys know each other. They've had the opportunities to play in different tournaments together, perhaps summer hockey and whatnot as they're growing up, and you can see a little smiling once in a while, but when the puck is dropped, it's totally different. These guys know they have to compete. If they want to win, you've got to compete against some of your friends, perhaps some of your best friends, and you can't let up for a second.
We talked a little bit earlier about Lee Goren being out of the lineup. He's their 4th leading scorer with 44 points. Took a nasty, and that's a mild word, took a nasty cut, skate cut, I believe, across his thigh. 30 some odd stitches.
35 stitches.
The good news is that there was no serious structural damage to muscle, tendon, or bone. They were able to get him stitched up, but Dean Blais wants to be cautious, keep him out of the lineup probably for the entire weekend.
Well, they'll miss Lee Goren because of that. In his last 13 games, Frank, he had picked up 17 points in that stretch, and that's one of the reasons he was chosen as one of the 13 members of the all-WCHA team.
There's Jordan Leopold back behind the net. We're coming up on the 6-minute mark of period 1. Tim O'Connell trying to shut down the rush at the Minnesota line. And it comes back to O'Connell. He goes cross-rink with it out at center ice. Panzer dumping it in. Blake looking for the puck, but Hauser is there first, and he covers up on it. And then Blake with a stick swing there at Leopold after a little bit of a check.
Well, he got a little bit of a jump on Leopold, and Leopold did the only thing he could do, and that's use his stick, trying to pull him back just a little bit. Great explosive speed on the part of Jason Blake. 25 years of age. You watch here. Watch on the right side of your screen. He comes down here, and there's Leopold has to reach back in there, just trying to get a piece of him to pull him back, and there's a little tug at the last second.
I'd like to see Blake and Miskovich in a timed foot race. I'm not sure who is quicker. Blake certainly gets more breakaway type opportunities. I'm not sure if that's all of his skating or not. Here's Hauser leaving it in the corner. Mike Lyons back to get the puck. It takes a hop over to Judd Meyer. With Stuart Sendin, they bring it up ice. Sendin trying to plow his way into the zone. Now he's taken into the corner by Aaron Schneekloff. Schneekloff, number 23, a freshman from Calgary. Brad DeFaw with a pass out at center ice. That's deflected. It'll be grabbed by Sendin, and he'll dump it in. And Gehring is there to leave it. The quick outlet pass now for DeFaw. Three fighting Sioux hit the Minnesota line, but they're stripped of the puck. Calder takes the check. Here's Williamson centering, and a delayed penalty on Minnesota as Calder goes after the puck again. Goaltender pulled for an extra skater. There's Calder. He's finally upended by Westrom. Now DeFaw plays it behind the net. Cone gets a piece of it, throws a check into Blake, and then the whistle goes. It'll be a slash that was spotted. It might, well, I won't guess. We'll figure it out in a moment. And the Fighting Sioux will have another power play.
It's the Jeep Spring event, and great deals on your favorite Jeep vehicles are showing up wherever you look. Like a low $269 a month lease on Cherokee Sport, with air, remote keyless entry, and power windows and locks at no extra charge. Or get Jeep Wrangler for under 15 grand. The landscape will never be the same during the Jeep Spring event, the event that's getting everyone to sit up and take notice. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Well, the Gophers kept the Fighting Sioux in one shot on the first power play. We'll see what happens here. There's one slash. Let's try it again. There's a couple slashes. Stuart Sendin called for that at 6:43.
Woodchopper's ball on that one. Here's Leopold trying to clear it around. Hoopstein gets it behind the net. And now Leopold takes Panzer down, that being Jay Panzer. And at the line, Jason Blake. Bumped there and roughed up by Westrom, who got a little face mask, and that goes undetected. Westrom with the puck again. It's at the line, and here's Blake, and he inadvertently clears the zone.
Westrom and Blake have been going at it all season long. Whenever they come together, they try to get that last little shot in.
Here's Cone. And tonight is their last opportunity to do it. Blake in his senior season. Now Gehring. And finally leaves it for Blake. A lot of time to go on this power play. Here's the foot race. Blake and Miskovich up ice. And Blake runs into a check, has to dump it in. A quick centering pass by Jeff Panzer, knocked down by Mills. Now another penetrating hit by Mills as he roughs up Peter Armbrust. And at the line, it's blocked by Hammer, but he can't control. And in the scrap, they decide that they better freeze it there and get a whistle. With 51 seconds left on the penalty to send him.
Elias Smith right up at that blue line, trying to get that puck out of the zone as quickly as possible, trying to keep the Fighting Sioux from applying additional pressure back on Hauser. We talk about speed right here. 27 against 5. Miskovich going against Jason Blake.
Looked for a minute like Blake was going to pull away, and then all of a sudden, well, that check started to come right at him there. We'll save that replay. That was probably a photo finish. We'll line them up. Maybe they'll do it again later tonight. They'll run them back to back. 12 minutes to go. Right up the middle. And that shot is
man in the crease.
Man in the crease. Get a whistle.
That shot was coming up high. Quick release coming back from the point position as Jeff Ulmer just took that puck back there, and the big senior just unloaded one right away. There's the control of the puck in behind the net. See everyone go for the front of the net. All of a sudden it comes, squirts out the far side. Ulmer had moved in anticipating that pass coming out there. He was right, but also man the crease will bring the face off outside.
Yeah, Jesse Bull was the guy who actually stepped in front of it. Here's Westrom now bringing it in with a shot. Gehring a rebound, and it'll be picked up by the Fighting Sioux. This is Bull with the puck. Crosses center, dumps it in. 24 on the power play. Out of the corner with it. Calder looking for Bull. Back at the line, Ulmer. And Bull plays it around. Calder puts it right through the crease, perhaps hoping that it would catch a skate and go back in. Lyons tries the other door. It's blocked and stolen by Calder. And a good check on Bull. That was Mike Anderson who had him tied up and prevented a great scoring opportunity. As it was, he had a good one.
Well, you have to be able to anticipate in a game like this. When you see where the puck is, you sometimes try to guess where they're going to go with it. Sometimes there's no other place to go. You'll see as they move the puck around here, it'll come back to the boards, but all of a sudden they tried to move it along the boards. Watch Calder. He'll come into the left of your screen. He just pinches himself in tight to the boards, able to knock it down and give another scoring opportunity to the Fighting Sioux.
Shots so far in the period pretty even. The Fighting Sioux with a 6-5 edge. They've had the better part of 2 power plays up thus far, and now with the end of the power play, they've only had one of their 6 shots on the power play. The penalty to send it is over. Coming up on 11 minutes to go in period 1. A pass too far at center ice, reaching forward. Tom Fillion as he gets it in the zone. Fillion jammed up on the far side, and Wes Dory goes after it. Dory takes the check. Here's Angel applying some pressure for Minnesota. And Dory now checked again by Leopold. And Angel with a bump in the corner. And as this grinds out, there's a takedown for Angel. As it grinds out, the players are likely to get more and more feisty if this continues.
Well, they are right now. Everyone had a man in that situation. You want to make sure he doesn't get away.
The Fighting Sioux with a 1-0 lead over the Golden Gophers on MSC.
Only at Hardee's.
Welcome back to Target Center and the 1999 NSP WCHA Final Five. 1-0 the score. Adam Calder, Wyatt Smith on the face-off dot. Draw to the Fighting Sioux and the quick shot wide of the target. Mike Anderson with a pass to center. It misses Berg, and it results in icing against the Golden Gophers.
Well, Brad Defoe came right across ice to get a piece of Mike Anderson. Defoe, big, strong, strapping youngster. And there's a look at Reggie Berg, who has had a tremendous night last night against the Huskies from St. Cloud State. 2 goals and 2 assists. Minnesota's leading scorer. You look at his career against the Sioux in the 17 games.
Well, he had a great night last night. Here's a shot by Armbrust that goes into the corner. Now back out at center. That was tipped by Calder at center ice, so there's no icing. Westrom behind the net. Avoids the hit from Defoe. It's right up the middle, poked away by Smith, a key play. Anderson gets it to center, but no further. And this first period, helped by 2 power plays, of course, but has been dominated by the Fighting Sioux. Minnesota with 5 shots on goal, but not a lot of great scoring chances. Here comes Westrom with it now. Doug Meyer heads for the net. Westrom puts it in the crease. Gehring right there to smother it, and he holds on. And a little shoving in the corner between Westrom and Schneekloff.
Well, Schneekloff staying right with Westrom all the way to the far boards well after the whistle had gone. You watch Westrom here. He's looking for a place to try to slide in. Can't do so. Tries to use his body, but he's forced to the outside. Schneekloff just goes with him. And look at Gehring just reaching out, grabbing on. Not a lot of rebounds come off of this youngster. Same time, he gets a lot of support back there by his defense and the forwards coming back. You look at his record.
That's a nice career record.
Boy, is it ever.
Carl Gehring, a sophomore from Apple Valley and a member of their '96 championship team. Overall in the country, his goals against average is 2nd best in the nation right now. So is his saves percentage. Puck is kicked away. Here's O'Connell and Meyer. Dory can't get it out. Now Lyons with the interception. He was the last guy back. Good thing he did. In the corner now, O'Connell. We'll make that Mike Commodore will carry it to the Minnesota line. Throws a penetrating hit into Dylan Mills and knocked him right back on his heels and then on his behind. From center, here's Linebeck shooting, and it's blocked by Gehring. And it's swept to center ice where Pagel takes over, tried to shoot it in. Second effort gets it in, but big Mike Commodore has it once more. Dory spins away from Leopold, centers it. Ulmer's shot, huge pad save by Hauser. Miskovich trying to get away from Dory, slips the check and just is able to get the puck in the zone. Now O'Connell shooting it around. Ulmer takes the hit from Miskovich. Now a check thrown on the far side by Pagel. And it's back out at center ice. Here comes Ulmer, 3-on-2. Nice sweep check by the Minnesota defenseman Nick Angel. Trevor Hammer shooting from the point. Big rebound up the middle, but right there to get it is Miskovich. 8.5 minutes to go, period one. Miskovich trying to outskate a check, but he keeps running into white jerseys. Here comes Angel with it now. Takes his time, crosses center, dumps it in for a line change. Trevor to Blake, he mishandles it. Poe goes after it, but it was checked away from him. But none of that matters because the goal has been dislodged by a good 6 feet. Back in a moment.
When you've got the speed, sometimes you have the advantage going in.
Soaking wet in his stocking feet. 8 minutes to go in the period. Fighting Sioux with a 1-0 lead. They scored at 1:06 of the period. Here's Hauser and a rebound for Jeff Panzer, and it's 2-0.
Boy, what a nice play by Jesse Bull to start that play just at the blue line. And the Fighting Sioux have taken the 2-goal lead here. This coming at 12 minutes and 7 seconds of the first period. And you follow through. We talked about going to the net. Watch a little pass here by Bull. Take it right here, right through the legs, and all of a sudden you're going to see from the left side of your screen, you'll see Panzer just coming in right there. There's the pass, right on the money, and that is where it's critical to make those passes. The other assist, of course, goes to Jay Panzer. Those two guys seem to team up. Every time one scores a goal, one gets an assist.
A great brother tandem and a great finish there for Jeff Panzer. His 20th goal of the season. 34th goal of his career. And it's the 8th goal he has scored against Minnesota this year. He is second in team scoring. Hard shot here by Cone, comes down off the glass. It's 3-on-1 the other way. Panzer moving in. Westrom down for the block. The puck goes into the corner. There'll be a delayed penalty coming up here as the Gophers had to strain to catch up to the Fighting Sioux, who are just steamrolling along here. I don't think a 2-inch layer of mud would slow this team down right now.
Absolutely right. John Seidel, the referee, makes the call. It's going to be an interference call. But watch, they just seem to come, Frank. They do not let up at all. And all of a sudden, there's the interference in front of the net. No question. And Westrom had made a nice play there because he prevented that pass coming across from Jeff Panzer, who was looking at that slot area. Doug Meyer gets the penalty. Interference, that call.
Yeah, I think we could have a tractor pull in here tonight, and the Fighting Sioux would still be out skating everybody in the league. Calder now for this faceoff. Third straight power play of the game for the Fighting Sioux. Here's a deflection, a save by Hauser, and he has trouble navigating with all the traffic in front of him. Back at the line, Williamson to Blake. Down to the corner now. Calder has to spin away from the check. Williamson centers it, and it'll be taken to the corner once again and played around by Ulmer. Blake over to get it. Calder behind the net, blasted hard by Mills, and then Mills blasts Ulmer, then knocks Calder down, and Lyons clears the puck to the line, no further. 2-on-1, short-handed Minnesota the other way. Miskovich bringing it in, laying it across for Smith, but it was too far, and Smith goes crashing into the net.
Well, he went down because Jason Blake was able to catch up to him and just pulled him at the last second, and down he went. Jason Blake goes to the penalty box here, and the way he gave Angel a little shot with a stick in behind the legs. One thing about Jason Blake, there's no question he's a competitor. But watch right here. You see the left side of your screen. There's a little hook. There's another little hook, and all of a sudden down he goes. Wyatt Smith into the net. They give. Thank goodness they give. And that will be a hooking call.
Well, had Smith had the puck, there would have been a penalty shot there, but nonetheless, Blake breaks up the scoring opportunity without the risk of having a penalty shot as he hauled the man down. Well, and in that situation, a good penalty to take.
There are good penalties and bad penalties, and that is a good one. You can see what the skates have done now with Wyatt Smith flying into the net like he did.
So with the delay, which might help the Gophers here, will it slow down the Fighting Sioux? Only until they drop the puck. We'll be back with more from Target Center in a moment.
But the remarking to me that you would wish maybe the Gophers had done that last night against your team.
Well, obviously, you know, we certainly wish we would have had the lead at the end of one. Minnesota played very well in that first period last night and certainly deserved to have the lead, but obviously, as the coach of the other team, you'd like to have the lead.
As far as the disappointment of losing last night, how have you and your players been?
He was able to help keep their heads up high so they could play with all the pride and enthusiasm that you'd hope for. And they had a good stretch run, given the injuries that they had. Gave the Golden Gophers a battle last night. Back out at center ice. Here's Jordan Leopold to get it. We're in a 4-skater-aside situation. There was a penalty called on Jason Blake on that infraction which caused Wyatt Smith to go tumbling into the goal. As Hoogstein brings it up ice. Oh, and a little bit of a juggling act here. And Hauser says, hey, this is no problem. I've got it somewhere.
Yeah, it's a problem when you don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Certainly, you saw what Hauser did right away. As he started to stand up, he knew it was someplace it lodged in his equipment. He immediately went right to the side of the net, in behind the goal line, just in case it did drop back. Hoogstein doing a good job here of using the defenseman as a screen. The quick release right here. Quick snapshot, trying to get that goaltender perhaps a little bit, napping a little bit. Not the case, as Hauser makes a save. 5:55 to go in the first period. North Dakota leads by a score of 2-0 over Minnesota.
41 seconds left on the Doug Meyer penalty, and then the Gophers will have a power play for roughly 50 seconds or so. Bill Cone throwing a check back at the line. A shot by Sneakloff. There's a big rebound. And finally, the puck is hauled out of there by Wyatt Smith. Boy, does that thing die at the blue line or what? Here's Smith with it again. Smith bringing it in. Runs into a check. They center it. The ice here has been down shortly before the high school tournament. Miskovich in the slot. Of course, it's been covered and literally up and down. What with the Timberwolves schedule. They opened it back up. Uncovered it, I should say, Tuesday of this week. Doug Meyer steps on a 40-second power play now for the Golden Gophers. Their first. 18% for their power play and an outstanding 85% kill for the Fighting Sioux. The numbers brought to you by GSSC. Black at the line by Westrom. Down low now quickly to Angel. Through the screen, he shoots high. Cole, Westrom, the shot, the save, the rebound up the middle. And at the line, the defense had to come back to protect with Jake Panzer bearing down an Angel, and Panzer's able to shoot it down the rink. And that should just about do it on the Blake penalty. Only 4 seconds left. Pass too far for Cole. And now Blake steps on the ice. In the slot, now another penalty coming up on Minnesota as Eric Wendell had the stick come up high. Who did he get? He got Jay Panzer.
Yeah, he went down right away. The stick did come up high, and he knows full well, and John Seidel very quick to make that call. And that certainly is the right call. Shots on net right now by the Fighting Sioux, 16 by the Golden Gophers, with just 8. You watch here. He tries to hook the stick here, and when a player pulls the stick back, and you'll see this all the time. It's okay if he does not move his stick, but once he pulls it back and you've already made that motion to start lifting up, that was an inadvertent play. He certainly did not mean to do that, but he will be called for the high sticking at 15:32 of the first period.
North Dakota with a 2-0 lead. The 28th goal of the year for Jason Blake and the 20th for Jeff Panzer. Blake's goal coming just 1 minute 6 seconds in. Now Calder digging in. This is a 5-on-4 power play, and right from the draw, Wyatt Smith gets the loose puck ahead to Miskovich. Miskovich brings it in. Now to the corner, here's Smith. Ulmer throws the check, and he'll be back behind the net now. Bull drops it back. Jeff Ulmer with it. Now Ulmer, the senior for the Fighting Sioux, to Bull. Pass intended for Calder, but it was broken up by Mills. And Ulmer again. From the center line, he shoots it in. 4 minutes to go, period number 1. Up on the rail, here's Mike Anderson to get it and shoot it down the rink. And back to pick it up now, Sneakloff. Fighting Sioux changing their power play. And they are bringing the smoke out on the ice now. Pass to center, and Hoogstein dumps it in. Jeff Panzer after the puck. It took a Fighting Sioux hop there. Now at the side. Hauser knocked it away but couldn't control. Behind the net, here's Panzer. Right in front, the shot blocked by Hauser. It's loose. And as they jam away, the whistle goes. Dave Hoogstein had a couple of good chances from about 3 feet away.
Well control the puck. Those short passes can be devastating at times. Hauser was having problems in behind the net there. Look how it comes off the boards. He gets back in time, able to knock it back there, but the play just comes right back to the side, comes in behind the net. Hoogstein's going to come in from the center. There's the shot there. You can see all of a sudden the first one comes in. Second opportunity comes for the Fighting Sioux, and Hoogstein trying to get in there just in time, but Hauser falls down in a very scary moment there for the Minnesota goaltender.
Fighting Sioux with 10 scoring chances in this period. And they're on the power play for another 53 seconds. Now Jay Panzer and the face-off. It's to Williamson, who winds and fires, and it's wide of the target. I don't think Hauser got a piece of it. Jeff Panzer. Williamson. Fans on it. And as it dribbles and bounces, Smith bangs away at it, gets it to center. Blake then regains control. And now again to Jason Blake as they bring it in. He flips it to the side of the net. Here's Smith. Trying to battle through a check. Blake has lost his stick. And now Cohn with a big hit on Hoogstein to knock him flying. And we had a real monkey pile going there. Out of the corner they get it again. And Cohn with a takedown. Here comes Leopold with the puck, shorthanded for a couple more seconds. So he dumps it down the rink, and the penalty to Wendell is over, and he just got checked out of the play by the referee Seidel, stepping out of the box. Loose to Nate Miller at center. And now over to get it is Almer again. Here's Blake. He ran into Lyons. Almer had the puck stripped away by Mills, and Lyons is there to shoot it out of the zone. Hammer back to get it in his own end. The boot of Cole at center. He can't bring it in. He'll have to dump it in. Gophers will touch up, and they finally do. From behind the net now, Chad Mazurek trying to bring it to center. Rink is like glue out there tonight. Silly cover. Up the middle, Almer. And in the slot, Dory. Williamson make that Mazurek shooting. He shoots it wide, and it hops out of the zone. Coming up on a minute and a half to go here in the period. Big check thrown out at center ice. Not sure who got the best of who. It was Wendell and Hammer. Westrom now behind the net. Chased by Dory. And back to help out now is Cole. Battling with Almer, and Almer takes Cole down. The puck is underneath him. 1:16 on the clock, and we get a whistle.
Well, once again, that strong forecheck by the Fighting Sioux is just forcing Minnesota into coughing up that puck. You saw Cole, who had the puck, initially trying to make the pass. All of a sudden, he's got white jerseys all around him, and it creates some problems. We got some penalties that are going to take place right now. Looks like Wendell is going to go to the penalty box.
I think Wendell got the best of this check, Tom.
Yep, watch right here. He just comes up and gives him a little shot after the whistle. As Trevor Hammer, the sophomore defenseman out of Rosso, goes down. But Wendell goes to the penalty box along with Tom Fillion.
A couple of coincidentals as you look at the two players. Fillion, as Tom said, is the other. Roughing minors each at 18:44. And the first coincidentals of the game. Calder and Miskovich, and Calder wins the face-off. Williamson shooting it around. There's Mike Lyons and Defoe going after it in the corner. And we'll wait. Looks tied up to me, and now it gets feisty.
Yeah, this is where the nonsense also picks up here. Mike Lyons right in the middle of that. Defoe right along the boards. Of course, he can throw some muscle around. Mike Lyons has really stepped up his game in the last few weeks.
Well, he really has. Even in the plus-minus category, he's been on the climb.
Yeah, you see Calder. He's getting it from a couple of different angles with both Dylan Mills and Mike Lyons. And you see Mills then move into Lyons and say, we don't need another penalty right now. Don't go after him and become the instigator.
Doug Woog looking on.
Well, the Gophers have got to be patient here right now. They can't take any unnecessary chances, but just try to pick off that puck if they can. When they get the chances, make the most of them.
For the Golden Gophers with just 8 shots on goal, but by our count, 1 significant scoring opportunity. I think we'll see a shot chart at the end of this period that is pretty empty in front of Carl Gehring. Jason Blake, and he lost his skates, but he's right back up with the puck. All alone in front, Williamson dekes a couple of times, and then the puck goes to the outside. Boy, did he have time or what? Here comes Miskovich, firing from the blue line. Gehring steers it to the corner, and it'll be picked up by Williamson again. And make that Schneekloth who lead the rush to center. Plays it to the Minnesota line. It's tipped. Now Ulmer after it. He's checked. Cone gets it. Out to center ice. This is Bird. Firing again from long range. Gehring got a piece of it. Commodore slammed hard behind the net by Berg. A shot from the point, and it goes around the horn as Berg was upended by Blake after he pulled the trigger on that one. Or was that Bill Cone?
That was Cone.
That was Bill Cone.
Well, here's an opportunity. Watch right here. Jason Blake goes down and he gets right back up again. Good puck control, but also everyone comes towards him. Look at the dark jerseys. All of a sudden, Brad Williams is all by himself on the far side and tries to go to the backhand and tries to get the goaltender to come with him, but Hauser, being tall and lanky like that, was able to just get his pad and stick on the other side and prevent that puck from going in.
Jason Blake will be visiting with Paul Guggenheimer. We'll also talk to the coach of the final.
Back at the Target Center, along with Frank Mazzacco and Tom Reed, I'm Paul Guggenheimer. Our score after 1 period of play is the North Dakota Fighting Sioux 2, the Minnesota Gophers nothing in our second WCHA Final Five semifinal game. Joining me now is Jason Blake of the North Dakota Fighting Sioux. Jason scoring the first goal for North Dakota in that first period. A great start for your team, and I'm wondering about the sense of urgency you guys might be feeling. I mean, how much do you guys want to come back and win this thing after losing to Wisconsin in the championship game last year?
Oh, it's a big thing for us. Actually, it's a big thrill for us to be here, what happened last weekend. But yeah, last year we got to the championship game and we fell a little short. You know, both teams battled out hard and Wisconsin won it. And this year, you know, our goal is to, we already achieved our first goal, that was to win the league, and now our second goal is to win the Broadmoor Trophy, and good start so far.
You've been on a scoring streak, 14 games now, and you got your team off to a good start tonight with this goal early in the first period. We'll take a look.
Well, I just got a pass from David, and I kind of lost it, and I turned around, and I caught Hauser on the short side, and buried it, and you know, things have been going really well. Puck's been going in for me, so coach stresses on shooting it constantly, and that's what you've been doing, and fortunately went in.
Now here I thought the turnaround thing was a planned move on your part.
No, it wasn't what I was going to do when I scored in Minnesota. No, I actually lost it. It went off my stick, but fortunately I got it back and put it home and gave our team a 1-0 lead, and we're playing hard out there.
You were named the WCHA Player of the Year yesterday. How much does that honor mean to you?
Oh, it's a great honor. Obviously, in this league, probably the best league in the country as far as college, and so many good players, Paul Comrie, Brian Swanson, that you know you go against in the league, and it's a great honor. I'm very happy, and you know, with my team, couldn't do it without them. Everything's just going great, and that was just a little sugar on the coating. Sure. Coating on the sugar.
Yeah, something like that. And you're also a Hobie Baker Award finalist as well. Jason Blake, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you.
We'll let Jason catch his breath, and in a moment we'll talk with Denver head coach George Gwozdecki, whose team upset Colorado College in the first semifinal.
Thanks for joining us. A 2-0 lead for the Fighting Sioux, the regular season champions and the #1 team in the country. We told you how much they owned the period. Here's the shot chart. On the right is the end that the Fighting Sioux were shooting at. And on the left is where at the end the Gophers were not shooting at.
You can see the only shot coming there from Western. He looked a little bit lonely there all by himself.
They didn't have much opportunity to set up in the offensive zone. Here comes Bird. As he centers, it comes all the way through. Each team a man short for roughly 23 more seconds. Senden is off, so is Tom Fillion. And here's Jay Panzer quickly to center ice. Jeff Panzer scooting right through, centering to Jay. Hauser, a huge glove save. There'll be a Minnesota penalty. Well, if you're going to streak up the ice, you better do it in the first half of the period while it's still good. And Jeff Panzer just split through the D like he owned them.
Oh, what a play also. getting the puck across to his brother. You watch, all of a sudden Hauser has to get a piece of it right here. Little pass, give and go. And of course, you come right back with a play, and you want to get your stick down as quickly as possible. Cohen coming back there, he got a piece of it, but it was Hauser had come up with a tremendous save there. The slashing call will go against Westrom. And behind the play at 34 seconds of the second period.
We told you the Fighting Sioux, their weakest link was their power play in that first period.
I think they're going to try and change that.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Back at the line, here's Hoogstein. Last one, rebound. Nope, cut down by Hauser. Now the first penalized players, Fillion and Wendell, come out of the box. So it's a 5-on-4 power play for another minute 40. Westrom sitting off. And from center ice, they flip one in on Adam Hauser. He stick handles a bit, tries to clear, can't get it past Jay Panzer. He shoots it wide. It's Jason Blake after it again. Blake rolls it behind the net. It's tipped by Mike Lyons. Jammed at on the near side. It came loose, and Jeff Panzer sends it across. Williamson's shot, that's blocked by Lyons. And now Hoogstein right in front to Jeff Panzer, who is all alone. And a power play goal makes this 3-0.
Well, you make those passes, you make them quick, and you make them accurate. And that's exactly what happens here as Jeff Panzer's all by himself standing in front of that net. Where did everyone go? Hoogstein getting that puck and just quickly putting it right back out in front. And all of a sudden, a power play goal. We talked about the weak link in the first period being the power play. That's not the case right now. No one in front, and as a result, a goal is scored. You watch here, Dylan Mills gets caught here. He goes in behind the net. Can't follow the puck around. You got to look to see where the dangerous man is. The dangerous man's in front of the net, not behind the net. And all of a sudden, the puck is just picked up, and it's in between the pipes.
Jeff Panzer had a nation-leading 5-point game against the Golden Gophers on the 22nd of January. He figured in all 5 Fighting Sioux goals in a 5-4 win. Here he has figured in on 2 of their 3. They have a 3-0 lead. Now to center ice. Here's a pass by Pagel, easily broken up by Hammer. Calder goes cross rink on the far side. It's played ahead by Defoe, then tipped right back out by Angel. And back in the zone, it'll be grabbed by Hammer. Back out at center, here's Doug Meyer again, and he dumps it in. The final score out of the Central, the CCHA playoff matchup, their semifinal game. Northern Michigan with an upset victory, 5-3 over first place Michigan State. That's a final. That'll help solidify a number 1 West seed, I would think, for the Fighting Sioux. No, I said they've still got to complete this weekend. And at center ice, here's Cole. He'll dump it in. The Gophers need to touch up. And as a matter of fact, they're going to go off on a chain. From behind the net, Hammer out to center ice. Here comes Fillion. Can't get through Westrom. Ulmer shooting it around. And back to center ice now, Westrom. And it'll be played by Miskovich into the zone, but he ran into a brick wall there. The last name was Commodore. Commodore with a smashing hit on Cohen. He might get an extra penalty, however. It's back out at center ice. Don Seidel has the delayed penalty signal. Commodore goes back for the puck. There's the whistle. And I think he is looking at Mr. Commodore.
Yes, he is. He's looking right now. Miskovich skates over by Commodore, and they exchange a few unpleasantries. But Commodore will go to the penalty box. He's going to be called for an elbow. You're going to see, watch the helmet right now. Right here. Bingo. This is snapped there. I mean, it's hard not to throw an elbow, though, when you're 6'4". He's got the size and also the toughness, but he heads to the penalty box right now. That's coming at 3:01 in the period.
If you're going to throw an elbow, don't hit the referee with it. He's gone. That'll be Minnesota's second power play. They did not have a full power play. I think their previous power play was only 40 seconds long.
This is the 7th minor penalty going to, against the Gophers in tonight's game.
Here's, you want to refigure that? Here's Spihar shooting. A scramble. Then Spihar tried to stuff it in. And Gehring got a piece of it.
I guess I should refigure this.
All right, we'll give you.
But they've had 7 against 2. They're now 3 by, 6 to 3. With Minnesota getting 3.
Got it. Clear as the mud on the ice. Here's Westrom. Now Bird. And they center it. The deflection in front by Smith. That was a brilliant save by Gehring. And now to center ice, Westrom. Smith dumping it in. It's off a Fighting Sioux glove. And controlled by Panzer, who plays it ahead. Leopold has to hurry. Jeff Panzer in after the puck. Hauser there to bat it away. Now back out at center. A lot of time with the man advantage. Jeff Panzer, what a game he's having. Grabs it at center ice and then dumps it in. Now Leopold cross ring to Eric Westrom. With Spihar they bring it in. And that pass harmlessly deflects to the corner. Now Jeff Panzer after the loose puck. He's got brother Jay breaking. And Westrom goes down to block the pass. Now shoots from center and Gehring gets the blocker on it. To the corner and Wendell. And Paul after it. Spihar centers it. Shot and a goal for Wendell. Oh, they needed that one in the worst way. It's now North Dakota 3, Minnesota 1.
Well, they had to get something going here, Frank, and they've not had a lot of time to control that puck in the offensive zone. But Wendell all by himself standing in front of the net takes a perfect pass from Spihar, who's in behind. We talked about the quick passes. You saw it once again here. Here's a little play in behind. All of a sudden Spihar takes it. He spots Wendell coming in from the side. He had taken the pass initially by Pohl from the side of the net. And all of a sudden as he takes it, puts it in front before Gehring can get over. Wendell has it. It's in the net. Minnesota scoring their first goal of this game on the power play, but they still trail by 2.
Eric Wendell getting the goal. It's his 7th goal and his 2nd power play goal. Spihar and Pohl getting the assists.
Well, this should give the Gophers a little more intensity in their game right now. One of the biggest factors here is that they have not been able to get the puck into the zone and freely move it around in the offensive zone. They have to, as soon as North Dakota gets it, they bring it right back out. They have been coming out of their own zone very easily in this game.
Yeah, they have. Here's Blake to the face-off dot with Pohl, and Pohl just knocked him right down. Miller from center driving it in. Wendell in on a hard forecheck, got a piece of Gehring to send him for a tumble. Wendell behind the net, centers it for Miller, he's covered. Ulmer gets the puck and the outlet now to center ice. Hochstein looking for Ulmer, good block by Mills, stays with the man and Pohl gets the puck, but has some trouble with his footing around the net. Wendell after it now to the right side, nice catch by Miller. Miller 1-on-2, gets the shot off and then ran into Missouri. Gophers changing. Ulmer, his pass picked off. Meyer has trouble with it. Hammer gets it. And it sneaks in the zone. This will be Leopold. And as he was checked, the pass gets misfired. Results in an icing. As we have played 5.5 minutes of period 2, Fighting Sioux have a 3-1 lead. The Commodore. Sidesteps a sprawling Doug Meyer, walks right in, shoots a big rebound. Angel gets a piece of it, but not enough. It's jammed in, top shelf for a goal. So the 4th line for the Fighting Sioux get on the board for the 4th time now for the team, and it's a 4-1 lead.
And that may be Jason Ulmer, who came in from the far side to get a piece of that puck. Commodore made a nice play at the boards to hold the puck in the zone. You watch here as he makes a little fake shot here. All of a sudden just steps around Wendell. Keeps coming in towards the net. There's a shot to the target. Get it to the net. And watch the little release right here on the backhand. As Ulmer just comes in from the side and gets a piece of that. Jason Ulmer, the junior forward, puts it in. It's a 4-1 lead. As you look at one more time. Rebound coming out on the far side. A little bit of a gap there between the pads and squirted out. And Ulmer just pounced on it.
Ulmer, his 6th, 541. That's one of the hidden wonders of this North Dakota team. They will come at you hard with 4 lines. Here's a steal by Meyer. first couple of lines get so much attention because they're offensive explosiveness, but the Calder line and the Ulmer line, there are no sleds by any stretch of the imagination. 4 freewheeling lines. Taken behind the net and centered by Armbrust. It comes all the way back out.
And that's just one of their strengths, Frank. When you look at this team, they move the puck so well, but also they will play any style you want to play. If you want to play physical, they've got the horses to do that too, but they certainly know how to put the puck in net, and that's where they seem to excel more than anything else.
Well, their shooting efficiency here is brilliant as well, at about 33% in this period. 6 shots on goal. 2 of them have gone in, and they right now enjoy a 4-1 lead at Target Center. Back in a moment. Not with these guys, not with the Fighting Sioux on the ice. Doesn't matter.
I wonder how good they'd be without sticks.
Oh dear. Here's Bull after it. Somebody in the national tournament is going to have to be awfully good to beat these guys. Bull after it again. There's a shot by Jay Panzer. Now Schneekloff trying to sneak it in. And back to the corner. It'll be picked up by Bird. They're on him in a hurry, but he battles through to get it to center ice. Held up at center. Runs into Jay Panzer, and Bull back for the loose puck to drop it back. Now Williamson out to center. Jay Panzer broken up by Lyons. Ahead to Anderson. 1-on-3 as he gets the shot on goal. And then Minnesota off on a line change. Picked off at center ice and dumped right back in by Pagel. Out back behind the net to Schneekloff once more. And Aaron Schneekloff out to center. Here's Panzer. And as he dumps it in, Nick Angel goes for it. And North Dakota begins to make a change. Blake right in his face to knock it off his stick. Angel back for the puck. Tries to navigate through a lot of traffic. And then dumps it away. Throws it away, actually. It'll be icing. And face-off back in the maroon and gold side.
Well, no place to go with it there. Just had to dump it up high over top of everybody.
Time for our Tires Plus trivia question. Who owns the WCHA record for career assists? 198. Well, I don't know. I guess. No, not those. No, one played at Notre Dame, the other at Pacific Lutheran. And boy, these are terrible hints, guys. If you're going to give us a clue, make it legitimate. Wendell shooting it in. I don't know. I really don't. I'm going to take a wild guess on this one. Commodore after it, like my guess last night. Which was like a dart going for a bullseye. It was not my question.
What a competitor Blake is. I mean, he'll run into anybody. Johnny Pohl certainly stepped up his game this year as a first-year player in the WCHA. Just needs that time to grow and develop. And then when you have 18-year-old freshmen playing against some of the big guys, Johnny Pohl, of course, 19 right now, but you look at Blake, who's 25. There's a big difference there.
Oh, yes.
In the age and also the style and the experience.
Even Blake was joking about his age a little bit yesterday at the awards banquet. Oh, Miskovich trying to break in. Puck stuck on him. Might be another 2-on-1. Here's a shot by Pagel in the top escape. And now Blake plays it back out at center ice. Westrom again. Now Miskovich bringing it in. Streaking in. Heads for the net. Save and the rebound, and he covers up.
Well, the one good thing about Gorian for his teammates is he does not give up a lot of rebounds. That first shot comes, and all of a sudden, he's able to make the save, but the rebound, the puck almost drops right down in front. You watch here, using the body, trying to come in here. Spihar coming in. There's the shot right here. Or I should say Miskovich, all of a sudden, he takes a shot up high. Spihar comes in trying to pick up on the rebound, but there was none to be had.
11:16 left here. And they face off to the right of Carl Gehring. Ulmer's line is out once again. That being Jason Ulmer. Dory tries to get it up the rink, finally does, dumps it all the way down, and Cone will go after it. There'll be no icing here. 11 minutes exactly on the clock. Here's the puck is turned over, and Cone back for it again. He'll get challenged there in a hurry. Now Miller, little feed to Linebeck, and they dump it in. Staring behind the net. Commodore took a bump there from Meyer, and it'll be brought up ice now by Fillion, who throws it down the rink. And then Dory was blasted pretty hard on the near boards by Dylan Mills. This is Mike Lyons. Ooh, the giveaway. Calder, Fillion, and they have a little excuse me there, and the Gophers now get the puck. This is Mike Lyons. Out at center, Fillion there to glove it down. Now Brad Williamson goes back for the puck. Armbrust, cross rink, Calder has it, throws it away. Anderson throws it away. They dump it in. Defoe will have to touch up. Mike Lyons from behind the net to Bird. And a brilliant 4-point game for Minnesota last night. Anderson firing away, and a big stop by Gehring, and he controlled the rebound perfectly. Smith playing it across. He'll have to knock it down. Ties up with Calder. Anderson fans on it. And a 3-on-2 for the Fighting Sioux, led by Brad Defoe. Calder, and that shot was deflected. Either Angel or Smith got in the way, and the puck leaves the rink. North Dakota 4, Minnesota 1 in this semifinal game. And he takes a hit. He's dropped to the ice. Checked there by Bull. And out at center, it gets between a couple of players. Back to get it is Miskovich. Angel helps out. Here's Spihar. Runs into a check by Mazurek, and he's in the Fighting Sioux bench. Gophers shorthanded right now. In the slot, it'll be grabbed by Hammer, and Spihar still in the bench.
He's changing sweaters, I think.
And now the puck jammed up at the line, and now he is back with the play. There's Hammer shooting it in.
He was the sleeper, I think.
That is the longest absence I have seen on a player going into the enemy bench. And of course, you can't change for him because he's not within 10 feet of your bench. Spihar. And he ran into a check there. Picking the pocket was Pagel. Commodore in the corner with Cole. You know, he's a little guy anyway. It was easy for him to disappear, and he did.
Back, he was upside down the way he can maneuver. And I'm sure the guys in the green and white weren't going to help him.
Oh, no. Here comes Ulmer bringing it in. He was held up and knocked down by Cone. At the line, Commodore. Shot is deflected, and Hauser gets a piece of it. Back to the point, but it's intercepted by Cole. With Sendonade lugging out to center. Sendon had his wheels taken out from under him, and there'll be an offside at the blue line. And a little rough stuff after the whistle. Guess who? Blake and Westrom. And Westrom wants a real good piece of Blake.
Yeah, he does. And he also realizes that if there's a fighting major, that you know who's going to be out for the next game, both these players, but it's much more important for the Fighting Sioux to keep Jason Blake on the ice. Minnesota, in order to advance to the NCAA tournament, has got to win this hockey game and then win tomorrow night.
That will be the only way.
North Dakota already has an automatic berth because they were first in the league this season after the seasonal play. Boy, watch this. There's a little hook right there. The offside call was made. There's Commodore trying to stand up right here. Also, that shot coming to Commodore. Look how far away he is from the netminder, too. As I said before, all season long, Jason Blake and Eric Westrom have gone at it pretty good.
I think you might be able to say that the two guys are cut a little bit out of the same cloth. And here's the disappearance of Dave Spihar.
Upside down. Hello there. How are you? Nice to see you. Size 8, is that?
3, 4. Another look.
Berserk did a great job of just taking him right through. One grabs one leg, one grabs the other. Like a wishbone here from second.
What is the what would the wrestling term? We have a clock time on that. We have how long you're down. There is an extra minor penalty up on the scoreboard for the Fighting Sioux, and that would be against Commodore. Blake, as you can see, without the helmet is off. Commodore next to him. Commodore gets the slash, at 11:56. And I guess, well, we'll fill you in on the other penalties momentarily.
Each pick up 4 minutes.
Yep, Westrom and Blake 4 each for roughing. Third power play. Here's Gary. No, it's jammed in for a goal. And Minnesota just keeps coming up and grabbing another breath of oxygen. They're within 2.
And that's what they have to do, Frank. Both of these goals are scored on the power play.
Looked like Regberg may have had the last whack at it with that puck loose at the footsteps there of Carl Gehring. And here's a look at the play.
Well, Spiehar gets the puck right here, passes it across right in the corner to Wyatt Smith. There's a pass coming across, and look where Berg is. Berg's always in that position. He gets the first shot. Gehring gets a piece of it, but he cannot get his glove down in time, and all of a sudden, it's in the net. A little pass coming across, and we've seen time and time again, Reggie Berg just camped there waiting for that puck to squirt free. It does that 4 points last night, and he comes up with another big point right now to bring the Gophers to within 2. This goal coming at 12:05 of the period.
Another nice milestone for Regberg, his 20th goal, 74 goals in his career. And there's the score with under 8 minutes to go here in the second period. Now Williamson's pass is rejected. It comes right back to Smith. They bring it in. Anderson firing away. Gehring makes the save, and then Smith bumped into him. And Smith is going to go.
Well, he went into him, and Gehring is still down right now. That brought the stick from Williamson right onto Smith. This game may get nasty yet.
All right, while they tend to him, we will take a quick break here on MSC.
Did you ever notice the most scenic roads in America have the most unpredictable?
Nice. Sure, one guy who is feeling pretty calm right now, Mike Surdich, the coach of the Bulldogs, standing by with Paul Guggenheimer.
All right, thank you, Frank. And he may look calm right now, but Mike Surdich's team, the UMD Bulldogs, had a few battles with his North Dakota team this year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Actually, it was pretty tight. All 4 games were very close, and they managed to win 3. We tied 1, but they're a pretty darn good hockey team.
They sure are. Earlier today, Denver won an overtime battle with Colorado College, and the nature of that game, it was almost like a continuation of the series that you had with Colorado College last weekend in the first round of the playoffs.
It was in a lot of ways. It was similar, but Colorado's awfully banged up right now. And then during the course of the game, they lost Johnny Austin again and Peters again. So I think at the end they were playing about 3 or 4 defensemen and maybe only 10 forwards. They were pretty short.
Next year you'll be back with the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs looking to move up in the standings. What are your thoughts about the 99-2000 season?
Well, we had a young team this year, you know, and certainly, to say the least, that great efforts and great togetherness, cohesion, and we just have to find a way to score some goals. But all the other parts I thought were there, and if we can get somebody to put the puck in the net, we're going to be fine.
Mike Surdich, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Paul.
Head coach of the Bulldogs with us. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, watch right here. You see the little pass coming across, but watch what Smith does. He goes right in here trying to get to that puck, but he comes down with a stick. And Williamson very quickly also to come back with a little bit of a cross check also. And that's what you have to do. You have to protect your goaltender. Wyatt Smith gets the call for slashing. And the power play for North Dakota.
Back up just a little bit to the conversation between Guggenheimer and Surdich. I think Googs was referring to the penalty-filled game between these two teams when they set records for penalties by 2 teams, 64 in one game, and total minutes 257. And that was back on Halloween night at the Grand Forks. Berg shooting, that's off the skate. Berg back at center, short-handed, now the Fighting Sioux on the power play. Panzer to Hoogstein. Offside at the blue line. My, it must have been close.
Well, this line plays so well together. They are coming up ice together. Dean Blais not happy with that call, but they had that quick break there. Berg tried to make the pass across, intercepted right at the North Dakota blue line, and how quickly they can make that transition turn about for them. Just grab out of that puck and away they go.
Tom, I'm going to ask you to help me with the Jeep Super stat here. Look at this North Dakota senior class. There's 4 Gopher seniors. Have you counted the Fighting Sioux seniors?
Right up. I think there's 8.
8?
Yes.
That still doesn't quite make up the difference in points. Unbelievable. Out to center ice.
Yeah, Jason Blais alone coming in the game at 67 points.
Right. Half the total of the Minnesota senior class. Here is Panzer playing it down low. Another minute and a power play, and Defoe! Brad Defoe lifts it high. It's North Dakota 5 and Minnesota 2.
Well, Defoe making his presence felt. He's got the size to get himself right in front of the net. Perfect pass coming out from behind there by Jesse Bull, who's had a very, very strong game for this Fighting Sioux team. And they seem to be in command right now. As we mentioned, a power play goal. Each team scoring 2 power play goals tonight. Once the puck is kept into the point, a little bit off the side there. When you got a play in front of you, you don't want to put in a position where it's going to be blocked. And all of a sudden, in behind, Bull gets the puck. He just makes the pass right out in front. And Jay Panzer doing a good job back in that point position to keep the puck in and to control the puck without just shooting around the boards. And a couple seconds later, it's in the net as Defoe just moves in front of the net. And with that big frame he has at 6'3", 210 pounds, the youngster out of Apple Valley just secures that crease area in the slot and just makes it work for him.
10th goal of the year, 4th goal on the power play. And now the offside whistle goes at the blue line. A 5-goal second period here. 3 for UND, 2 for Minnesota. There is a look at Brad Defoe. We continue to talk about depth and how these guys will come at you in a variety of ways. His line mates Calder and Peter Armbrust.
Well, he certainly is a force in front, as I mentioned before. You know, he's got a great shot, but he also likes to play the physical part of the game. But when you're trying to move him out of the play, it takes about 1 or 2 guys sometimes to get him out of there because he is so big and he just towers amongst a lot of the players. And when you do that, you take usually somebody else wide open in front of that area.
Yeah, he's a good, honest hockey player. Here's Wendell to knock it down. Takes a couple of whacks. Hammer out to center ice. Fillion tried to float it in. It's broken up. Back out now to Wendell. Fillion back to get it at his own line. Now Leopold, he can't bring it in. Wendell was still in the zone. Now they'll float one down. Under 6 minutes to go here in the period. And the whistle goes on the delayed offside.
Well, this Fighting Sioux had only lost 4 games all season long. They lost 1 in November. The CC has scored 5-4. They lost 1 against Notre Dame in early January by a score of 4-3. They lost in Wisconsin by 2 goals in February. And then they lost in overtime against Minnesota State in the first game of the playoffs, best-of-3 series. And that was in March. So 1 month isn't bad.
Not a bad stretch at all. They didn't lose a road game until the final weekend of the regular season. And that was at Wisconsin.
Nothing in September. No losses in September. Of course, they weren't playing then. That helps.
It was the second of the last weekend of the regular season when they lost at Wisconsin. Out at center, Smith. 3 Minnesota players bring it in. That shot by Anderson and a glove catch by Carl Gehring, and he holds on.
And once again, Smith going right for the front of the net, looking for something, but Gehring very calm and cool there. Does not seem to get excited at all. He's only 5'7", 150 pounds. He won the Frank Brimsek Award as a top goalie in high school in his senior year.
Well, he was the league's best goaltender here last year, wasn't he? Only to be unseated for that position by Greg Nemenko from Alaska Anchorage.
Well, he was a rookie of the year last year.
Here's Miskovich. He wins the faceoff. Spihar to Mills. That shot hit Jeff Panzer. And now in the corner, Pagel is after it. Dekloff nurses it along, then gets control. Fighting Sioux with a 3-goal lead right up the middle. They tried to get it to Spihar. Nice play by Williamson. Williamson, number 21, the defensive player of the year. And now back to get it, Mike Lyons. On at center, it's off the stick of Miskovich. And Schneekloth will go after it again. Williamson is another one of those real honest hockey players. This guy doesn't come with a lot of bells and whistles, but boy, is he good, and more than just efficient too. Here's a pass that's deflected. It goes to the side of the net. Bull behind the net. Spihar is able to keep it in for a moment. Now Pagel after the puck, and it's underneath Jeff Panzer. Fans want a whistle or a penalty. And Panzer gets it to center. Jesse Bull back to Jay Panzer. A nice block there by Angel, but it was played with a glove hand. 4:23 to go in the second period. It's the Fighting Sioux 5 and the Golden Gophers 2. Six. Here's Leopold. And out at center, and it's turned over right at the blue line again. Defoe, he was checked, has to dump it in. Leopold and Calder. Angel and Defoe in the corner. Calder gets the puck, shoots one, blocked by Hauser. And Defoe drops it back. This is Linebeck trying to force it off the boards to get it out, but hit a big guy named Brad Defoe. Linebeck goes down. He brings Armbrust with him. And they will grind it out for a while here. Commodore gets a piece of it, and it sails the glass and goes up out of play.
Looking at him, Calder, captain of this squad, 22 years of age. He won the Unsung Hero Award last year along with Brad Williamson. You know, we talked about Williamson being the Defensive Player of the Year. Last year it was Curtis Murphy, also from North Dakota, that won that award. So obviously the defensive likes of Scott Sandlin up there helping with that squad as assistant coach.
All right, who owns the WCHA record for career assists with 198? I'm just going to float a trial balloon up there and say Greg Johnson, former Fighting Sioux.
Question was brought in tonight.
Tom, I'll tell you, this trivia game is a heck of a lot easier when you
know the answer. That's right.
Oh, hey, I'm pretty proud of this weekend here. I'm 2 for 2. You know, they say you're only as good as your last shift. Maybe I won't show up tomorrow night. All right, everybody be quiet about that one. Up on the far side, it's brought in by Bull at center. We're going to have roughing minors coming up way behind the play. Wendell and Hammer were going at it for quite a while. Now somebody takes a run at Blake, and the whistle finally goes. Might be Tim Swader to call this one. One of the assistant refs, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe it is going to be him who's going to make the call.
No, which is kind of interesting, Tom. Swader is from the Rocky Mountain State. He'll do a lot of games in Colorado Springs and Denver. Here in this part of the WCHA, the group that we see in Grand Forks and Madison, here up in Duluth, the assistant refs haven't been calling a lot of penalties. But for whatever reason, out in the Rocky Mountain area, those assistant refs that they have out there, I don't know if it's 4 or 5 of them, they tend to blow the whistle a lot more than we see here in the Twin Cities.
Well, they're not afraid to make that call. It's well and behind the play. That had to be almost 90 to 100 feet in behind the play, and he was just watching back there. And Wendell took the little swing with his hand. He just immediately put his hand up in the air to make that roughing call.
I thought it would be even there. Apparently, he's going to get the instigator out of the deal.
Yes.
Did you say 16:52?
Yes, I did.
A very good number. It's the time of the penalty. A little footnote on Greg Johnson, if I may. He was the last player to be named to the All-WCHA first team 3 years in a row. And that, I believe the last time was in 1992. And no one has done it since until Jason Blake just did it 3 times in a row to the #1 team. Here's Gehring, get a piece of that shot on that shallow angle from Eric Westrom. Blake trying to work his way through Mike Lyons, and he was upended. Jay Panzer out of the crowd. Anderson after the puck. 2.5 minutes to go here in the second period, and the Fighting Sioux with a big 3-goal lead. Panzer after it again. And up the middle it comes. Here's Armbrust. Make that Williamson with the shot in the goal. It's a 6-2 game on the power play.
Well, it didn't work in the first period, but certainly that man advantage in the second period is paying dividends. Watch the play by Hoogstein, though. That's where the pass comes from. Williamson has a good opportunity to move in here, and he'll read the play very well. There's a pass by Hoogstein. He comes in, takes one quick shot, and you notice he's a little bit off balance there when he takes that shot, but he knew where he wanted to go with it. And there's the pass coming across right onto the stick, time and time again, get it on the money. And you can see it just beating the goaltender, Hauser, on the glove side. And that puck is in net, 6-2 in favor of the Fighting Sioux. This at 17:36 of the period, his 10th goal of the year.
Six goals in this period. 5 have been power play goals. 3 of them, 2 of them by North Dakota. Nope, 3 of them by North Dakota. They have a 6-2 lead. Here comes Leopold. Trying to get it around the check on the far side of Schneekloff. That was a sweet shot by Williamson, too. Pagel in the corner. Under 2 minutes of the period. Here is Angel forcing it into the corner. PR rolls it around. This is Pagel putting it in front. Hammer plays it to the line. Ulmer after the puck pushes it ahead, and a race now as it goes into the corner. Fillion and Westrom. Now Miskovich off a stick at center ice. Miskovich bringing it in, drops it back. Spihar lines it up. Gehring makes the save. Calder clears the rebound. Meyer with the block. Takes a hit as the puck is kicked to center. Cone playing it right back in. And now back behind the net, Williamson once more. Out at center ice, Cone to take it away. And there's a minute to go in period 2 as Pohl circles back with it. Finds Meyer. He runs into a wall. And Meyer back behind the net. And knocked down. Shot by Defoe. There'll be a penalty coming up on North Dakota here as Armbrust gets his stick on the puck. A slash.
It will be a slash. He was trying to tie up with Pohl well to the right of the net, and John Seidel was in behind him. I don't think he realized where he was. And that's going to be Mazurek, the freshman defenseman out of Regina, who heads to the penalty box. Watch right here. There's a little slash using the stick back and forth. The defensemen use those sticks as almost as a feeler, so you know where the player is. You don't have to look at him all the time, but if you can use that stick and just kind of touch a little bit here and there, you'll know where he is, so you can move your body position to get in front.
1941, the time.
Boy, you look at the penalties in this period: slashing, roughing, slashing, roughing, roughing, slashing, roughing, roughing, elbowing, and slashing. There's stick work going on here. A little bit combat play.
It's been tough going. Bird gets it into the zone, and Alder pushes it right back out. Power play number 4. Gophers are down by 4. Here's Westrom. Spihar. And Spihar knocks it down at center ice again, down to about 7 seconds. Spihar fires to Smith. Schneekloff knocked it down. And the horn sounds, and the Gophers will bring a minute and 21 seconds of power play with them to the 3rd period. And the Fighting Sioux will bring with them to the 3rd period a big 4-goal lead. Keep in mind, the 3rd period has been their strongest period of the year. There's our intermission lineup. Eric Wendell will visit.
All right, thank you. Let's go back upstairs.
Paul, thank you very much. And our thanks to the 2 Pioneers. Well, this doesn't bode well for the Golden Gophers, who have not been able to come back and win when trailing after 2. The Fighting Sioux, when they've had the lead, have never relinquished it, except once they wound up in a tie, and that was against Minnesota back in October. Here's Berg shooting it across. Westrom a blast right on. The rebound is right on. And then Alder is there to take the puck away. Fighting Sioux short for another minute. And they dump it down into the Minnesota end, and Jordan Leopold will go back after. Gophers will have to stretch themselves to the max here, I believe, Tom. Down by 4 against an extremely explosive offensive team and a very good defensive team.
Well, when you look at those records also, Frank, the fact that how good North Dakota is in that third period, and when they have that lead going in, they just will not relinquish it at all. A lot of teams, they have a tendency to sit back a little bit because they have a pretty good lead. That's not the case with the Fighting Sioux. They just come at you all the time.
They have outscored their opponents roughly 70-20 in the third period. 50 goal differential. Only played 38 games or so. Here's the Hammer after the puck. A block at the line by Lyons. And a big save by Gehrig, and then the rebound is shot down the rink. Hauser will have to play it. Now here's Mills out at center ice. Cole trying to get in. It's broken up by Hammer. Now Jason Blake is over to bring it in. Blake with 1 goal, 1 assist in the game tonight. In the slot. Turns and shoots. It's off a skate. It goes to the corner. Now Mike Lyons to pick it up. We're in the opening 2 minutes of play here in the third period. And North Dakota has a 6-2 lead. Now Ulmer brings it in. Looking for Blake, and it goes behind the net. Blake ties up with Lyons. Mills gets a piece of it. It'll be Angel now playing it for Miller. Ulmer turns and shoots and hits the body. It comes right to Blake. He's blasted by Lyons, and the puck won't go in. Ulmer with the block, but Lineback battles to get it to center. And then flips it in the zone. Gehrig will cover up, and he will hold on. Time to go back and take a look at the new Dodge Challenge. First of all, for the Fighting Sioux.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Frank. You've seen their speed, you've seen their firepower, and they don't waste any shots, even in that second period. Only 13 shots, but 4 of them resulted in goals. They have been aggressive on the forecheck. They have not let Minnesota come out of their own end very easily. They've been right in on top of them. Minnesota play close to the vest. Well, they haven't been able to do that because they can't catch them and get to the puck in net. We saw the shot chart in the first period, and you saw how many shots were away from them. They're not getting in that position when they're getting the opportunities. I mean, the good golden opportunities.
Yeah, they had a little better effort at that in the second period, scoring 2 from the doorstep, both Wendels and Bergs. And they probably had 3 more close-in chances similar to that. But not enough sustained pressure, and I don't know that you can sustain any kind of pressure against the Fighting Sioux.
Blais, you look at him out of International Falls, Minnesota, played 4 years with the Gophers, was the Rookie of the Year back in 1970. But each year this team has gotten better. 18 victories in his first year, 19 his second year, 31 his last year, and right now this will be his 32nd if he goes on to win this game.
Amazing. Just a great record. Western, big save, rebound to Miller, kicked away by Gehrig again. A scramble is on. The puck is loose, and just as Gehrig came out with the big mitt, one of his teammates got there and cleared it away. This is Cone. Out at center, Lineback stripped of the puck by Hammer. But trailing the play is Meyer. He'll go after it in the corner with Missouri. Miller with a hit. Who did he drop? He got Ulmer and knocked him down. And Lineback lays it back. They'll be back out at center ice. This is Cone. Miller trying to shoot it in. And apparently deflection goes right up out of play. As we come up on 3 minutes played here in the third, the Fighting Sioux with a 4-goal cushion.
How long does it take to turn Dodge Durango from the sport utility with the most passenger room in its class into the one with the most cargo room? Not long enough. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
Maroon and Gold finally got something to cheer about here, Tom. They have just announced some wrestling results. I don't believe these are final results yet, but the Golden Gopher wrestling squad has now climbed up into first place at the national tournament. Here's Leopold after the puck again.
Looking good,
and now Angel.
Yeah.
Quite a climb. I believe they started the day third.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
And it's flipped in. Calder after it. And now Mike Anderson, who I thought he was just going to lay out the player Schmeekloff. A backhand shot by Smith, and Anderson comes in, trying to fight for some turf as well.
Well, we have seen some pretty good checks in this hockey game, but none better than the one you're going to see as our shell check of the game. What's Mazurek right here? Alley-oop, let me help you up. And good night, Irene.
Do we would have to ask the tape guys. They'll be able to replay this in the truck.
Yeah,
How long does he stay down there? How many minutes?
Well, they'll just let him stay there.
Oh, Wilbur.
Dean Blais come over to check out, make sure he's okay. They let him back in there freely.
Do we have a total disappearance time on that one? Let's see if they can
Pretty
run.
good hang time there.
Well, I see. They were measuring it in pages. They were tearing the Leafs off the cap. 12 seconds he was in the bench, folks. A glove catch here by Gehring, and he holds on.
I think it's longer than Jason Blake has been on the bench tonight. Tremendous amount of ice time. There's a look at Spihar.
Well, he's having quite a weekend here, all things considered. At least personally, 2 goals and an assist last night. Picking up 2 more assists now, so he's riding 5 points. And the Gophers have scored 6 goals in this weekend. I'll make that 7. A total of 7, and he's figured in on 5. Williamson takes a hit out at center. And Bull after the puck with Angel, and strips Angel of the puck and knocks him down. Bull turns and centers it. It's blocked by Spihar, and it'll be back out at center ice. Williamson lifting it high in the air, and a glove catch there by Hauser, and maybe an offside whistle goes.
Yes.
How does the referee look up 20 feet in the air where the puck is and down on the ice where the skates are? Well, they're amazing.
They can do that.
They can do that. They've got.
Well, the victory by Coach Doug Woog last night and his squad was their first time this season. They have won 3 games in a row with that victory over St. Cloud State. But they are meeting a pretty solid team here tonight. The #1 team in the country has just been awesome.
Second team in WCHA history to win 3 consecutive regular season titles. First team to do it was Colorado College. Among the 3, here's Blake breaking in. Among the 3 consecutive championships for the Fighting Sioux, they did have 1 shared title with Minnesota, but a share counts as good as a win in the WCHA.
But look at that effort of Hoogstein coming back there as a 2-on-1 situation. All of a sudden, Hoogstein comes right back in and picks up the pass behind the back.
And you'd think it was a 1-goal game.
Yeah. Well, that's how you want to play it, too.
Yeah, that's how these guys do play it, too. Every shift like it's a 1-goal game. And now here's Commodore back to get it in his own end. Coming up on the 5-minute mark of the period, there's the score, 6-2. Now O'Connell with a pass, but that's broken up by Miller and shot back in. Commodore from behind the net. Hank Miller throws a check up on the far side. Commodore to get it again. Knocked down at center ice. Westrom got it in. Commodore will ice it. And a whistle. Played back out by Hauser after the whistle goes, and there's a look once again at Commodore.
Well, he's got, you know, when you look at their players, in fact, Lee Gordon is 6'2", 190 pounds. You've got Tim O'Connell, who's 6'4", 210 pounds. You've got Commodore, 6'4", 225 pounds. I mean, you go down the list here, they got some size back in that point and also up front with some speed. And when you add those together with guys up front like Defoe, who's 6'3", 210, it gives you a lot more physical presence. And it's tough for some of the smaller teams to compete against that.
Some nice size back there, and I don't know, earlier in the year some folks were talking about, well, if there is a deficiency on this team, it might be on defense, but it's so hard to, I mean, you're really nitpicking there. It's hard to find a flaw. And here's Cone back to get it. That's good. But granted, what they do, they are so explosive offensively. That certainly makes the defensive part of their game a little easier to play.
Well, they're #1 in the league in league competition in offense and defense.
Right, and their goal differential is among the top in the country as well. So I'm not going to buy into the argument.
No. Sounds good at the beginning of the year.
Beginning of the year. Yeah, the wing of the prayer. How are we going to beat these guys? Well, maybe it's the defense. Sprawling in and pushing the shot was Westrom, and the goal has come loose.
What a play by Westrom.
Yes,
He was able to control that puck also as he was falling.
rush by Westrom, and the score remains 6-2. Back at Target Center after this.
Call before you dig. Contacting underground utility lines is no laughing matter.
6-2. 6 goals scored combined in the second period. The Fighting Sioux had the first 3 goals of this game, 2 in the first period, including the trendsetter by Jason Blake at 1:06 of period number 1. And Williamson coming out of his own end. Brad Williamson playing it ahead. Williamson has a power play goal. Did we have a typo on that shots there?
I think there must have been. We see that again? Is that 10-1 did I see?
I think we did. Shots in the third period. Minnesota 10. North Dakota 1.
Yeah, our shot
this
clock
game
has gone
here
down
tonight?
again. Apparently so.
Okay.
But the shot clock has gone down again in the building, so we can't look at information as you are.
And now a little bit of a delay. Whatever they got settled down there, it's done finally. And now we await Wyatt Smith to come in for the face-off. Armbrust gets a piece of it. Williamson takes it behind the net. Here's Armbrust after it again. Met pretty hard by Smith. And now Mike Anderson. It'll be brought ahead now by Schneekloff. From center, he shoots it in. This is Angel to drive it around. And Reg Berg to bring it ahead. Berg for Anderson, and that was broken up. Schneekloff trying to play it ahead, and hits a skate, takes a Minnesota hop. The shot by Berg, blocked away calmly by Gehring. A delayed penalty on the Fighting Sioux. Let's go down to ice level where Paul Guggenheimer is standing by with a very patient Dean Talafas. Thanks for waiting, Dino.
Dean Talafas has had a chance to see all of the teams now. You've been here for all of the games. What are your thoughts, your overview of the tournament so far?
I think it's pretty typical of the way the season's gone. You know, everybody's been battling it all year, and North Dakota's kind of been a cut above the rest of us.
One of your players, Greg Nemenko, was honored. He was named Rookie of the Year. So some postseason awards for Alaska Anchorage.
Yeah, it's a good sign. You know, both him and Stevie Saigon, the little centerman, two players on the all-rookie team. So that'll be pretty good for our future.
And you have, speaking of the future, your son plays high school hockey in Hudson. Very talented player, is being coveted by a couple of different schools. Where do things stand with him right now?
Well, he's had some success at high school, but he's got a ways to go, and possibly juniors. But someday I think we'll be seeing him at the college level.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks for joining us, Dean Talafas.
Thank you.
Let's go back upstairs.
Paul, thank you very much. Here's Eric Westrom shooting, and a nice glove catch by Carl Gehring. He had some rough treatment for certain in that second period, but he, like always, is keeping his cool and makes the save on that rising shot.
Well, North Dakota is shorthanded right now as Peter Armbruster was called for a charging penalty at 7 minutes. That's their 8th penalty in this hockey game. Gophers on their 5th power play.
Yeah, there's a minute 42 to go on that penalty, Tom.
Armbruster on B9. Of course, you remember him as scoring the championship goal against Minnesota back in 1997.
2 years ago, Civic Center. Off the board, Behar to Westrom, shoots high, shoots it wide. The turnaround shot blocked by Gehring. Here's Smith. Leopold to Westrom. Now Berg to Westrom. Pass was behind Berg. He attempts to dump it around. Spihar was run over. There'll be another penalty on the Fighting Sioux. It'll give Minnesota a 2-man advantage for a full minute and 11 seconds.
Well, I think it was Schneekloff on the far side was trying to take Spihar out of the play. Just got a stick right into the midsection and hauls him down. And they're hooking perhaps interference call that will be made against him. You watch as the puck goes along the boards. You look at the left of your screen as he comes in. Spihar is down. And it will be called as interference. 7:49 the time of that penalty, so the Gophers with a 2-man advantage here for at least a minute and 11 seconds, barring other penalties or goals.
Well, if there's a hope for a comeback, it has to happen now. It has to begin now. And looks like the Fighting Sioux have called the timeout here. Shorthanded by 2 men, but ahead by 4 goals. It'll give us an opportunity for a break. In the midway point of period number 3 in the Final Five from Target Center. What a deer.
Well, I hope he ate his porridge this morning.
And here's a fraction of a look at some of the X's and O's on Doug Woog's whiteboard.
Well, there's still time here, 12-11, but I'll tell you, they have an uphill battle. It's a cliff almost to get to the top on this one.
Good, very good analogy.
Gehring has gotten the support when he's needed it. A couple goals have gone in, but Minnesota with 39 shots on net compared to 35 by the Fighting Sioux.
Carl Gehring is just a sophomore, but he is already 5th in all-time wins at UND with 44. Outstanding goaltender. All right, 2-man advantage for a minute 11. And they turn the puck over. Williamson driving it around. Smith can't keep it in. Leopold back to get it out at center ice. Here's Leopold bringing it in. They'll flip it to the corner. Berg after the puck. Smith behind the net. Berg again. Leopold. Westrom looking for Berg. It's deflected and it trickles wide of the net. Williamson off the glass and Leopold can't keep it in. He goes down. Here's a shorthanded possibility. Jeff Panzer with a rising shot. That's down off the glass and it'll be grabbed now by Spihar. 30 seconds as you see in the 2-man advantage. He hits the line. Tries to go outside on Williamson. Puck cleared for the line. Leopold keeps it in. Shoots a block in front and Blake shoots it down the rink. And that first penalty, one to Armbrust, will be over in 10 seconds. From center, Leopold gets it in. Smith after the puck. Watched by Williamson. Now 49 seconds more of 1-man advantage for the Gophers. Berg centering it. Spihar got just a piece of it. Now Berg shooting. That caroms all the way through. Westrom keeps it alive, but only for a moment. And then Ulmer jams it down the rink. And a half minute now on the power play.
Well, both Berg and Spihar positioned themselves at the side of the net, waiting for that puck to come. They both had an opportunity, but they could not put it between the pipes.
This is the 6th power play for the Gophers as Miskovich brings it in. Chased behind the net by Hammer. Back to the line for Mills. Dumping it to the corner for Pagel. Now Pagel takes a check. This is Miskovich. At the line, Mills, Pagel, and Miskovich again. And now the second penalty, the one to Schneekloff, is over. 5 skaters aside, and the penalty killers do a great job. The lead to the Minnesota line, and it was just barely out of the reach of Tom Fillion. Now Ulmer turns and shoots. That hit Mills, and it'll be grabbed by Cole. Back to Mills, and he dumps it in for a Minnesota change as we pass the halfway point of period 3. Minnesota down by 4. Williamson shooting it in. Gorey after the puck, pops it right into the crease, and Hauser covers and holds on. Well, we've had 8 goals in this game. We'll find one of them to bring you our Abra assist of the game.
Well, you're going to watch Dave Hookstein with the puck here right perfectly. Draws everyone towards him. Williamson reads the play. He moves in, and make no mistake about it, in off the pipe. It's in the net, and that will be our assist of the game, with David Hookstein doing a great job. But he was injured here part of the year, came back, and he was put on the fourth line. He's not used to that position. He just was not ready to be elevated to the first line. Coach Dean Blais says we got lots of guys playing well until he proves himself to stay there. Well, obviously he has proved himself.
Yeah, he missed 9 games in that stretch with the broken leg. Here's Miller to shoot it wide. Cone after it. Now Calder in the corner. And they jam it around. It'll sail the glass. It'll go up on a play.
Calder trying to get the puck up high enough just on top of the glass to get it out. Unfortunately, shot right out of the rink, and so they'll have to face off to the right of his netminder. Calder, the unsung hero last year, along with number 21, Brad Williamson.
And John Poe will get ready as he talks to both of the guys in the points, like what he might be thinking about doing with the puck as he goes in for this face-off. And Blake wins the face-off, and here's Hammer back behind the net. Number 3, Trevor Hammer. Made the WCHA second team. Back out at center. Be played in by Stewart Sendon. Kicked around once more. Sendon picks it up. Back in the corner. Now Blake turns to go after it, but Sendon had hold of his stick. Here's Blake again. Fires at the center, and Alden. It's a piece of a player, and Cole brings it in. Now Blake after it once again. You know, one of the things that is very interesting to me about the way Jason Blake will play. He's a very much in-your-face kind of player, kind of guy you love to have on your team. Hate like heck to play against. But his timing is magnificent. Here's a bouncing puck as it comes in here. When the game is tough, when the game is on the line and to be decided, he's in your face in a hurry. He's back off now. I mean, he's not like that he plays at that pace the whole game. There's no need for himself to put himself in danger of either getting a penalty against him or causing his team to go short. Right. He's feisty early when he has to be.
Yeah, he's the ultimate player. I mean, when you look at him, he does the things on the ice that really distracts and disturbs the opposition. He'll do a little stick work. He'll talk to them. He'll get their mind off of what they're supposed to be thinking about or doing, because they'll take advantage and they'll try to go after him. You saw Western a number of times go after him. And there's always penalties that come with it, but he just does not let up. He's relentless. He said it 1 year after transfer from Ferris State. And since that point, I guess he had all that energy that he has filled up inside. He has not stopped since that point.
Here's Cone putting it in front. It comes all the way through. Berg after it again. Westrom. Gary makes the save, and that was a tough one, but he holds on. There's 8 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in the third period. The Fighting Sioux are up by 4.
Shells. The legend continues, one bottle at a time.
I love my job.
North Dakota with a 6-2 lead after a free-scoring second period. We haven't had any here in the third. This is Eric Westrom back at center ice for the Golden Gophers. Off a stick, it'll be grabbed by Williamson, and he fires it in. Westrom from behind the net, chased there by Ulmer. To the left side to Berg. Berg watched by Williamson, and taken to the corner. I was very much surprised, double-checking heights and weights. Brad Williamson just 5'10" and 175, but steady presence everywhere in the rink. Offside here at the blue line. We'll go downstairs to ice level, and one of the key award winners at the presentation, Greg Nemenko, the goaltender from Alaska Anchorage.
Yeah, this guy's gotten some frequent flyer mileage this past week. Played last weekend here against the Gophers in the first round of the playoffs. Flew back to Anchorage, then came back to pick up some awards. Rookie of the Year for the WCHA, first team goaltender. And I know you would have liked some more team success, but those individual honors are nice, aren't they?
Well, sure, it's an honor for for myself. I just wish I could have had a few of the fellas here to enjoy it with me.
Last weekend against the Gophers, you played well. I know it was a disappointing result for you, but you have to be pretty happy with the way you played.
Well, I mean, I was ready to play. The whole team was ready to play. We put our best foot forward, and it wasn't enough this year. And so we regroup and come back at them next year.
Being here, watching this event, the WCHA Final Five, how much does it make you want to get here as a participant?
A lot, a lot. I don't much. I mean, I enjoy watching hockey, but I don't much enjoy watching these teams playing with knowing that I could have been out there.
So what happens during the off season now?
Regroup, work out, get better, and get back at her.
All right, Greg Nemenko, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Your first team all WCHA goaltender and Rookie of the Year, Greg Nemenko. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Googs, thank you very much. Very soft-spoken, but quite a gentleman, too. He had a few more words to say at the awards presentations yesterday.
Well, we have a slashing call that's going to go against Minnesota. And Johnny Pohl, who does not pick up a lot of penalties, heads to the penalty box right now. This coming at 13 minutes and 2 seconds of the period.
That's only his 9th this year. Here's a look at it.
Take a look. You see how he's being held right here. Look at that's what I talk about. Look at Blake. He's a little shot, a little stick on top of the head. And only one penalty. That's why he draws penalties all the time.
Blake in on the faceoff, but it's won this time by Westrom, and Angel will go back for it. And fires it off the glass. Here's Blake again with the puck. Circles to center to the Minnesota line to Jeff Panzer, who centers it. Hauser fights it away and plays it into the corner. Now Angel. Pass ahead to center ice. This is Westrom. Fighting Sioux have only had 5 shots on goal in this period. Total clock here showing Minnesota with 42. Well, who upended Blake, or did he just tumble? Fans on the near boards here started cheering, and as I looked down, I saw Blake pulling himself up off the ice.
I think he just cheered because he went down, regardless of how he went down, just to keep him out of the play for a few moments.
Here's Hook, seems to play it in. And Lyons got a piece of it, not enough. There's Blake centering it, and that shot by Hoeksteen, I think, hit Hauser in the mask.
Yes, it did.
Blake, a wraparound try. Nope. Hauser smothers it. And somebody's on top of Blake.
Well, Blake tried the wraparound play, but as you mentioned, Frank, that shot came right onto the face mask of Adam Hauser. Watch as the puck comes right up back out in front here, right through the. There's Blake making the pass, and you watch as Hoeksteen takes a quick shot, tries to go for the far side. And then the wraparound play right here as Jason Blake takes the first shot, but look, he's still on his skates. He's still battling for that puck, even though he's hit from behind and going down. 5:58 to go in the third period. North Dakota leads by 4 goals.
Calder and Miskovich ready for this faceoff. Calder wins the draw. Hammer with a wrist shot. Takes off and leaves the rink. It looked like that was going to come up underneath the crossbar, but it really changed directions and went out of play. And now 55 seconds remain on that penalty to Pohl.
Well, the tempo has slowed down considerably here in the third period. Obviously, the Fighting Sioux realize they don't need any more goals, but they don't want to just sit back either.
If I read colors right, it was a Badger fan who gave a Fighting Sioux kid a puck, and the kid's eyes got as big as a saucer. Out of the corner, here comes Calder with it. Calder plays it back. Hammer, a wrist shot. That's blocked by Smith. Back out at center. Berg to shoot it down the rink. 5.5 minutes to go in the game. think that's pretty safe to say here with a 6-2 lead. Ulmer brings it in. Trying to slip through Westrom, but Westrom comes away with the puck and ices it. Of course, they're shorthanded for another 20. And now Ulmer again in the slot, drops it back. This is Adam Calder, and he'll go cross rink. Westrom gets it, dumps it right back down again. And Gehring will shoot it away from Miskovich. Miller after it. He drops it back. And the penalty to the ball is over. Back up out at center ice. This is Miller. Racing ahead, Miskovich, but he can't get control of it. Hammer goes cross rink. And from the blue line, it's dumped down, but the puck was tipped, so there's no icing. Cone behind the net. Now Miller. Off a stick grabbed at center ice by Pagel. He ran right into Mazurek. And they go cross rink. Miller with a check on Armbrust. Here's Pagel with the loose puck. Now up off the far side. A very difficult now 4 minutes to go, where everything pretty much decided. Williamson brings it in. They center it. Hauser out there to knock it away from Brad Defoe. He'll be back in the corner once again, and Armbrust goes after the puck. That's where they freeze it, and we will take a break. In this, the third period of the second semifinal game of the NSP WCHA Final Five.
Only at Hardee's.
Well, a goaltending change is taking place right now as Rob LaRue will get the call for the Minnesota Gophers.
Boy, what a key role he has played in terms of support for the program, which lost a couple goaltenders this year. Eric Day to injury, Willie Martin having left the team. Rob LaRue came in off the football squad and said, sure, I'll help you out. You need a backup? What can I do for you? Hadn't played for well over a year and a half. Now they freeze it in the corner, and the face-off will be coming up again. Down to 3:39 to go. Saw an empty net there, but no, LaRue did not leave. He was just out for a little bit of a skate.
LaRue out of Minnetonka, Minnesota, played for the Skippers there, was a teammate of Rico Pagel at the Minnetonka High School. First three-sport athlete at the U of M in 30 years. In football, he was a tight end. Baseball, where he played first or outfield, and also the goalie for the Gophers.
Okay, Ulmer comes in, throws a check. The stick comes apart. I believe it was Dory's, and here's Sendon working at the center, but he ran into O'Connell. Angel after the loose puck. And Commodore at the line, but he can't control, and O'Connell plays it back out. Now Commodore again. Here's O'Connell. At the blue line, broken up by Leopold. And over to Commodore again. He dumps it to the Minnesota line, where it's picked out of the air by Angel. Angel gets it in, sweeps it around. Miller after it. Blasted pretty hard by Commodore. Ulmer lifts it high, gets it as far as the line. A nice block by Lyons. He gets the shot off. It's loose to Linebeck. He lines it up and pushes it behind the net. Nice stick handling by Linebeck in front. Now Mills. Down to 2.5 minutes on the game clock. Meyer throwing a check up on the far side as he gave Tim O'Connell a bump. And now it's back out at center, and Nate Miller will grab it. Dylan Mills. And out at center again, Dory is stopped at the line. Puck is pushed high in the air. And Blake after it. Back out at center. Dave Hookstein reaching for it. Hookstein, the top point getter for the Fighting Sioux. He's got 3 assists in this game. Williamson in the corner. Taken down by Mills. And now Westrom from behind his own net finds Mike Anderson, who does a 360 to bring it ahead. He's got a winger breaking it with Berg, but couldn't get the puck all the way across to him. Ulmer back at center. It's off a stick. And now here is Anderson. Behind Williamson. And now down to 90 seconds to go here in this semifinal game. The winner The Fighting Sioux will be moving on to the championship game tomorrow night, which we'll have for you here on MSE. They'll be taking on the Pioneers of Denver University. And now there'll be a penalty coming up here on Hookstein as he pulled the wheels right out from underneath Wyatt Smith. A delayed call. Smith brings it in. Here's Westrom. The extra skater is on. Minnesota with control of the puck. Westrom jammed up now, and as Schneekloff touches the puck, the whistle goes with exactly a minute to play in the game. So the hooking infraction.
Well, here's a look at our Reliance stars of the game, and it's going to be the seniors, no question. We talked about 8 seniors with this squad that they will lose for next year. 11 points tonight on 2 goals and 9 assists. Now this last penalty just coming at the 59-minute mark of this hockey game. 19 minutes of this third period.
And there is a look at Hookstein, who of course is part of that senior class. He had the 3 points. Jason Blake with 2. Jay Panzer with 2. Jesse Bull with 2. Brad Williamson with a power play goal. And now with a minute left, puck comes back to Leopold. Leopold trying to drive it around. And a check thrown on the rail. Finally it's dumped down the rink. And there's LaRue to leave it for Bill Cone. Under 40 seconds in the game. Cone out to center ice. Now Berg slips it in the slot. Blocked by Cone at the line. They play it across. Leopold rolling it down low. Commodore after it. And now here's Cone. He was checked and the puck will come back to center. Leopold to Berg. And from center, Spihar driving it in. And the Fighting Sioux, who are here from Grand Forks in grand numbers, start to celebrate, but a whistle interrupts it. And it happens because there's a little action in front of the bench.
Well, Spihar get hit pretty good in front of the bench over there. That brought in Billy Cone to help out.
Jason Ulmer, number 9, was there, and Cone will be headed to the box. Ulmer perhaps as well. And I suspect these will be coincidentals.
I think they will be, Frank. Jason Ulmer took a little extra shot at Spihar right in front of the North Dakota players bench, and so Cone just retaliating just a little bit with 14 seconds remaining in this third period.
And everybody, I think, hoping for this clock to wind down as fast as possible. Not really sure what the delay is here. Someone's floated an airplane down on the rink, so that'll take a little bit of time. Gophers going to send their 5 skaters out. Lambeck will face off against Armbrust. Cone's actually going to get 4 minutes out of that, but it's all academic here. And now the celebration can resume as the Fighting Sioux fans will count down the final seconds and their trip to the championship game tomorrow night. Convincing 6-2 victory over Minnesota in this semifinal game. They did it with speed, they did it with some goaltending when needed, they did it with some defense, and they did it with some tough play.
Well, Frank, if there's one consolation in this, a third period, which has been their strong point all season long, as you mentioned, 70 goals. They failed to get a goal in this period, but by then the game was pretty well over.
Yep. It was 6-2 coming into this period. Neither team scoring here in the third. And so the handshakes out at center ice progress. And the Fighting Sioux win 4 of the 5 games. All that Minnesota could muster was a tie early in the year. Minnesota will be playing Colorado College in the 3rd place game. The Fighting Sioux to the championship game with Denver will set the stage for those and put a wrap on this one at Target Center after this timeout.